All right, so looking into our friend Oceanic Estate a little bit more. So I just released a video recently called The Western Cult Example of Spell Casting, where I point out this guy, Oceanic Estate. That's his name on YouTube. And he's, as I said, he's been commenting on my channel off and on for probably at least a year now. I do think that he is a paid Gangstalker and or just another member of this cult. And again, he posted a comment on a video that I made talking about my daughter and talking about how much pain I'm in over her loss. And the comment he left was, "It's almost over," implying that my pain and suffering is almost over, which also then implies that my life is almost over. And I was using that as an example of how real spell casting and cursing works. It's psychological warfare. It's using very specific wording to implant it in the back of someone's mind, that they're going to be harmed, or trying to convince them to harm themselves. Or it can be used for good. You can also, for example, chant affirmations, positive affirmations to yourself over and over again until they sink into your subconscious mind and you start having better luck and more energy and, better days. So shortly after I released that video, he left 2 more comments, and this one he left on that video, The Western Cult Example of Spell Casting, and he commented, "A good kind of spell." Heart emoji. Keep in mind, guys, remember that I recently, a few months ago, started releasing some videos about the connections between the heart symbol and the symbol of the devil, and that pops up frequently in imagery and in numerology. One example will be the typical Rider-Waite tarot deck, the typical tarot deck design. If you go to the image of let's see if I can pull it up here. Oh. So here's a typical tarot deck. Let's see if I can find the devil here quickly. Probably not. OMG. It probably would be easier if oh, here he is. Okay. All right. So now you can see here, there, if you pay attention and look closely, there are 2 heart shapes, at least 2 heart shapes embedded into this image. There's a heart shape made by his horns and his beard. And there's a heart, so right there, the horns and the beard pointing down towards the tip of the beard, that's one heart shape. The other one is made by his legs and his crotch there, with what almost even appears to be an eye in the center of the heart. So that's just one example I'm giving you guys of how in imagery, in symbolism, the heart symbol is often associated, I'll put these away later, it's often associated with the devil for various reasons, the devil being the ruler of our passions, and the heart also being the ruler of our passions. So yeah, a good kind of spell. I have to ask, good for whom, Mr. Oceanic Estate? Good for me? Is it a good spell for me, or a good spell for someone like Zay Frank? Is it a good spell for my enemies? Because what's good for my enemies is not necessarily good for me. If Jay Frank wants me harmed or dead, because I'm investigating him for being part of an incestuous child trafficking network, well then what's good for him is probably not good for me. I don't know for sure, but just a wild guess. What's good for him is probably not good for me. So who is this spell good for? And so in this way, he's almost admitting to it. when he's responding with a good kind of spell. He's not responding with, that's ridiculous, that's nonsense, I did not mean any such thing, here's what I actually meant by that comment. He's not responding with that, which, you know, if I mistook what he was trying to do with that comment, you know, think, again, put yourself in their shoes. If you're an innocent person being accused of something that you didn't do or you didn't mean, if you're being accused of having certain meaning behind your actions that you didn't intend, and somebody's saying that you mean to be harmful towards them, you would probably jump on the opportunity to deny that and say, like, no, you're wrong, here's what I meant by that. Wouldn't you? That's how typical innocent people behave. They don't want people walking around thinking that they're trying to hurt anybody if that's not the case. And they usually are quick to defend themselves, and it's the truth comes easily. So if the truth is that you meant no harm, then usually you just spew out what you actually meant. The actual story behind what's going on, the true story, will come easily and effortlessly. And you won't have to think about it, and so on and so forth. So he's not denying it. He's not denying that he was trying to cast a spell or a curse on me and engage in psychological warfare. He's practically acknowledging it by saying it's a good kind of spell, you know, or writing it's a good kind of spell. Good for whom? And what's your idea of good? Be more specific, Mr. Oceanic Estate. And then he also commented, you know, ever on the case, to another one of my videos. So now, I looked into this guy a little bit. Let's, Zay posted a new video. Maybe we'll go look at it later. First, let's go see at Oceanic Estate. Some things I wanted to point out about this guy. This is not the guy, but it looks like Oceanic Estate is harassing this guy too. Anti.matrix. This man, I went and had a look at some of his videos. He's talking about a lot of the same stuff I'm talking about. He's speaking out against devil worshippers, organized networks of devil worshippers who engage in child abuse. This guy here in his video with the red hat, he's talking about the same stuff that I'm talking about. And it looks like this guy at the top here, Oceanic Estate, is harassing him on his YouTube video as well, on his YouTube channel. So again, this guy, Oceanic Estate, looks like he's a paid troll. He trolls people and harasses them on YouTube, and he looks like he's targeting people who are speaking out against devil worshippers, is what it looks like to me. So he has 16 subscribers, 8 videos. What I think is very interesting, guys, is it looks to me, if you look at some of these videos, like he's from my hometown, Cape May, New Jersey. So right here, this is Higbee's Beach in Cape May, New Jersey. Oh, I won't play it, but and these are older videos. This one's from 12 years ago. Yeah, right here it says Hurricane Irene, Cape May, New Jersey. So these videos are from, if they were recent, I would be tempted to say maybe he was going to my hometown to like stake out where I'm from and possibly try to stalk me even more. But that's probably not the case. He's almost certainly from Cape May, or he regularly visits perhaps some people he knows in Cape May. It looks, from this video, it looks as if he knows people there. He's at a house, hanging out in the backyard, talking to people. And this is in Cape May, New Jersey. These videos are all from like 12 years ago, 11 years ago, 10 years ago. That's well before I ever stumbled onto this network. I was definitely concerned with other things back then. I was taking care of my niece, who was very young at the time, while my sister worked her way through nursing school. My father had actually just died in 2012, December 2012. So, and my grandfather followed less than a year after that. So I was definitely absorbed with other things at the time. This is Higbee's Beach. This video at the top here, snow on the water. That's a beach on Cape May Island on the bay side that I actually, when I'm at home, I go to Higbee's Beach quite often and hang out there. I've camped out there in my RV for a couple months. And yeah, Delaware Bay fireworks, July 3rd, 2011. So this guy looks like he's from Cape May.
I got a plastic bag, like a clear plastic bag.
I won't play any more of the video than that, but if you go and listen to this video, I don't think you ever see his face, but from the sound of his voice, I would say he's probably younger than me. Yeah. He's probably at least a little bit younger than I am, maybe within a decade. If I spent a long enough time analyzing these videos, particularly this one, I could probably figure out exactly where this is on the island, this specific neighborhood and house. I don't know that I want to do that. I don't know that I want to dedicate that amount of time. These people, so the example I'm setting here is trying to set here for you. These people are everywhere. It makes sense that at least a few of them would be in Cape May, New Jersey. It's a major tourist town. A lot of big name, millionaires, billionaires and such from New York City and Philly, surrounding cities. They go down to the Cape May, Jersey Shore area on vacation. I believe even Tom Cruise had a house in Cape May for a while. I don't know if he still does. But I remember years ago, the whole island was at Twitter with news that, oh, Tom Cruise is buying a house here. So these people they're around, they're everywhere. And this is not a friend of mine that I know of. I really don't have any friends in Cape May, New Jersey. I left and went away to a private boarding school in the 8th grade. So I lived away from home for most of the year, all throughout my high school years. And then I went away to college in Chicago. And even when I lived in New Jersey, a lot of the years I lived in New Jersey, I lived, up closer to the Philly area. There's more work around, closer to the cities. So, I just don't have a lot of friends in Cape May. I have family in Cape May, but not really any friends. So this is not somebody that I know. That I at least I don't think so. And I do think that he is probably, based on the sound of his voice and the year that these videos were released, I'd say he's probably fairly significantly younger than I am. And also he plays, like, some of these videos are video games. He's a gamer. Dolphin emulator. I try to be respectful of people who are gamers. I try to understand the attraction to living in a fake world. But yeah, I just want to. The temptation is to shit all over you, dude. And then they post videos of their games on YouTube. It's like, nobody cares. Nobody wants to see your stupid freaking video game on YouTube, except other dorky video gamers. But, okay, cool, whatever. Day-night cycle. At first I thought this could be real life, but then, you just look at it for a few seconds and you realize, no, this is a scene inside of a video game. So yeah, this guy is definitely, he's been harassing me on my YouTube channel. He's been trying to drop little, sneaky comments that I believe are meant to be harmful to me. And again, it looks like he's harassing other people. He's harassing this poor guy on YouTube.
Hey, mate, if I say I love you...
He seems like a nice guy. I looked at some of his videos. So go check this dude out. Clearly he's saying some stuff that's getting under their skin and on their nerves, or they wouldn't be bothering with him, you know? And he's put out a lot of videos, a lot. And I think that is the case, is they, look, see, he's even starting to talk about the Fibonacci sequence here, the spiral that you can find, this pattern you can find in life, in the physical material world. So it looks to me like this guy has started to figure some stuff out, and, you know, how it relates to devil worship and devil worshipping cults. And so, yeah, now, of course, they are attacking him online, and they're probably trying to use up his energy and tire him out, and possibly even convince him to hurt himself. So I hope this dude, even though I don't agree with it, it looks like he's a Christian. And I'm not a Christian, and I don't agree with that. I mean, like, to each his own, but I don't think Christians are bad. I just think they're misled. So I apologize if that offends anyone or insults anyone. I don't mean to offend or insult. I don't mean to talk down to you. I think that you guys just don't know enough yet about your own religion, about the Christian religion, to know not to be a member. But I try to put that sort of thing aside. And for me, if you want to divide the world into groups, for me, it's the group of child abusers versus non-child abusers. It's people like myself who are against child abuse and rape of children and incest, who think it's wrong, who believe that you should try to stop it wherever, whenever you can. And then there are people who engage in child abuse, actively, willingly, wantonly engage in child abuse, child rape, and incest. So that's how I divide the world up. I don't divide it into races or religions anymore, as much as I just divide it into, are you a child abuser or not? Because if you're not a child abuser, we can chill. You know, I might not be into your religion. I might not like the same movies you like, whatever. I don't care. I might think you're even being misled to some degree, but I still will think you a good person, and I will have your back so long as you are against child abuse and human trafficking and against violation of human rights. If, however, you are for those things, if you're for child abuse and human trafficking and violating human rights, and or just harassing people and trying to get them to hurt themselves, then I don't like you at all. You're not my friend. I'm not your friend. So that's how I split up the world. So this guy, I think he and I could chill. You know, he might drop a Christian... he might drop a Christian line once in a while, and I'll just, let him have it. I don't care. Go ahead. You're not converting me, but if that's how you need to, view the world, or want to view the world, or view the world, go for it. So long as we're both united in our distaste for child abusers. That's where it's at for me. So I do feel for this guy. I do think he's probably being gang stalked by some of the same people who are gang stalking me. And again, that's this guy. This is one of them. And he goes by Oceanic Estate on YouTube. So, yeah. Leave it at that. I just wanted to point out that this guy is clearly he's not again, he's not denying what I pointed out about him, right? He's not denying it at all. Here we go. In fact, he's almost agreeing with it. A good kind of spell. So I said, he's trying to cast a spell. This is psychological warfare. This is how real spell casting and cursing works. Is witches and wizards worth their salt understand human psychology and understand how to use human psychology against their enemies. And they do that with wordplay, with sneaky words that they I guess in any way they can think of, they try to get stuck in the subconscious minds of their victims, with whether with song or with nasty little comments on YouTube, so on and so forth. And again, he is not denying it. I know if somebody accused me of doing something like that and it weren't the case, I would. And if I saw that they were accusing me of doing something like that, and that wasn't my intent, I would be like, no, you're wrong, and shut the F up. You don't know what you're talking about. And might even be like, here's what I actually meant. Just so you know. And I've been doing that to some degree with other trolls on my YouTube channel. I've been pointing out, no, you're wrong about that. Here's what I meant when I said that, and shut the F up. So, again, it's not hard to figure out if you guys have a little bit of empathy. It's not hard to know how an innocent person will respond to certain things. So this guy is not innocent. He knows what he's doing. He's not denying what I accused him of. He's almost agreeing with it. And, yeah, this is gangstalking. This is what it is to be gangstalked. You have people being sent to your YouTube channel to harass you and to try and take you apart psychologically and drain you of your energy. And all right, I'll stop rambling and leave it at that.